Oh, yes, let's have a chat about the theatre, shall we? And a fine theatre piece it is. Let's talk about Dr. Strangelove. G'day, it's Adam here again with another quick instant movie review for you. So, we're having a chat about the latest National Theatre live production of Dr. Strangelove. Yeah, now this is an adaptation of the Stanley Kubrick 1964 film Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learnt to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This one stars Steve Coogan, who you might remember from Philomena, The Trip, and Alan Partridge. In this one, he plays 4 roles. So this one has been written and adapted for the stage by Armando Iannucci and directed and co-written by Sean Foley. So the play, what's it all about? Well, it's a satire about a rogue US Army general who triggers a nuclear attack. And from there, we follow the US president, played by Steve Coogan, his scientific advisor, Dr. Strangelove, also played by Steve Coogan, and the Joint Chief of Staff and a Royal Air Force exchange officer, played by Steve Coogan. They attempt to stop a crew of a B-52, no, not the band, the bombing crew, bombing the Soviet Union, and that particular pilot is also, funnily enough, played by Steve Coogan. To try and stop them causing a nuclear war. So the film, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I haven't seen it. I should have. This is a massive hole in my filmography. It's considered to be one of the best political satire comedies of its time. It received 4 Academy Award nominations at its time. So it's got a bit of heft behind it, this film, and I feel really bad that I haven't seen it. The original film, obviously directed by Stanley Kubrick, who wrote, produced, and directed the original film, and the film stars Peter Sellers in 3 roles. So Steve Coogan has got him up on the 4th role, even though Sellers was toying about playing the pilot of the B-52. Armando Iannucci has worked with Steve Coogan before, for many years actually. He was one of the co-creators of Alan Partridge and has worked with him for quite a number of years. Was one of the writers and directors on In the Thick of It, which is a fantastic TV show if you haven't seen it. Again, political satire. And directed and wrote one of my favourite films, The Personal History of David Copperfield, which is an amazing movie if you haven't seen it, with Dev Patel. Sean Foley, in the other side of the fence, has done a lot of theatre shows. And when he got the phone call from the producers about adapting this and them getting the rights from the Kubrick estate, he straight away got on the phone to Armando and said, "You need to help me do this. Let's go." And it's been 28 years since Steve Coogan has done any theatre. This is a big moment for him. And to take on 4 roles is quite something. I think Coogan sort of said, look, if he's going to do something, he really wants to put a lot into it and do something quite unique and different. And I guess Coogan is very well known for playing different characters, playing caricatures as well. I mean, Alan Partridge is a classic foray into that world, and is a fantastic character. He's worked with Rob Brydon on the script, where they're doing different impressions, which is a massive part of that. That film series, is extremely well known and well regarded, and it makes me laugh every time I watch The Trip. I absolutely love it. So to see him do a stage show of a film adaptation of a film that I hadn't seen yet, which was from legendary filmmaker Stanley Kubrick, I was extremely excited to see this. I thought this is going to be amazing, and it is. It's fun. It's really for something that is so quite dark. And I suppose, in 1964, when all this was happening, Cuban Missile Crisis, threat of nuclear warfare, everything like that going on, it was very relevant at the time. Now, it's still very relevant, with the leadership and dictatorship in certain countries, and those people that have the codes and can press the button to make things happen that it seem a little bit wacky. It seems very relevant now. Certain parts of this production do feel a teeny little bit dated. It's a very masculine production. There is not one female on the set at all. It is a very male dominated play. But that is quite reflective of the film, from what I understand. So there are those elements coming into play as well. If that bothers you, well then so be it. But it's here it's just something that probably needs to be acknowledged, I suppose, and could be adapted a little bit. So in regards to the humor, this is very English humor. As I mentioned, I haven't seen the film, but this does feel a very English style of production, and it does have that madcap English Brit type of thing going on. Even the American characters do feel very English, which is interesting. Yeah, obviously Stephen Coogan being at the forefront of it all, it does present that the Americans are absolute idiots, and the English are a lot more sensible, but don't want to offend anyone throughout the whole thing, which is quite interesting. So look, I did really enjoy this. I wasn't really sure what I was going to come into it and to expect. But I mean, Stephen Coogan does throw himself into this, and there's some very clever use of character swapping that happens. He's especially in the war room when Dr. Strangelove comes in, and the US president is also in there. Some great use of screens, projection, stand-ins. Like it's so smart. I sort of sat there going, how did they do that? But it was quite stressful apparently for Stephen Coogan to start off with, but then they got it down to a fine art. So I think this was playing for about 3 months on the West End. Look, it's really fun. Adapting it to screen for the National Theatre Live, I think they've done an extremely good job, as they always do with their adaptations. Wide shots when there needs to be to give the full feeling. The cutting into mid shots and so forth on characters at the right times, because some of these plays, there's a lot of people talking all at once, and they deal with that very, very well from a filmed point of view, allowing the production to breathe and to demonstrate, to show that really smart way of moving between sets, almost seamlessly. Like the stage work on this is very, very clever. There's 3 or 4 key sets within this, and they're all managed and handled extremely well. The way that they move between it, the fun jolty music between it is really good. I really enjoyed that. If you love Stephen Coogan, I think you're really going to enjoy this, because it is very Alan Partridge. It sort of had a few moments where I thought, is this like Mike Myers, because playing numerous different characters. And it's sort of got that real English farce feel to it. So I'm actually really interested to watch the film now. Like, I think that might even be a review for me. But I thought this was really good fun. It's very, for something that's quite heavy, it's very breezy, it's very light, but it's really good fun to watch. So Dr. Strangelove, the adaptation, starring Stephen Coogan, I'd probably give 7 out of 10. I had a really fun time watching it. It's not going to change your life, but it's a really fun way of spending some time in the cinema, or when it comes onto the streaming platform for National Theatre Live. I think you'd have a really great time watching it at home. But always good to see these things up on the big screen. So if you do get the chance to see it in limited release, please do so, because I thought it was great. Anyway, that's my review of Dr. Strangelove starring Stephen Coogan. Have you seen a play lately that was adapted from a film that you went, oh, that was actually a really good adaptation? Or did you see one that was absolutely pants? Maybe you saw the ill-fated Spider-Man one, or Titanic on stage, or something that just hasn't worked. I know there's a Back to the Future one coming, which is really exciting. Comment below, let me know. I'd love to find out, and I look forward to speaking to you all next time here in my car, not on the stage where I have to project. La la la. Okay, bye-bye.